One person is dead after a shooting at an Appleton mall. What police are saying about their investigation. And another skyrise is being planned for downtown Madison. Why some leaders are concerned building the apartments would knock down a piece of history. Plus, after a year of illness and economic hardship, city and county leaders shed some light on what the long road to recovery looks like amid the pandemic.
This is News 3 Now at 10.
Thanks for joining News 3 Now at 10. I'm Amanda Quintana. One person is dead following a shooting this afternoon at an Appleton area mall. Police say they responded to Fox River Mall in Grand Chute around 3:30. Two people were shot inside the mall. Police say the second victim remains in the hospital. No one has been arrested, and the shooter left the mall before police arrived on scene. Witnesses say they realized something was wrong when they saw crowds running inside the mall.
It just happened so fast. My wife and I were just coming from the food court, and we were heading back towards Macy's because that's where my car was parked. And all of a sudden, there were a group of people running around us, and nobody was saying anything. But then there was a second batch of group of kids running as well, and they were really in a panic. So then I thought something serious or something wrong is happening at the moment.
Authorities say they conducted a search of the mall and are working tonight to talk to people who were inside the mall during the shooting. We'll continue to update this story on our website, channel3000.com, and tomorrow on News 3 Now this morning. A Sun Prairie intersection was closed for several hours tonight as police investigated an incident. Police say they received a call around 7:15. It happened at South Bird and Loth Streets. Police couldn't specify what they were responding to, but say there is no danger to the public. A snow emergency is in effect tonight in Madison after last night and today's storm. Alternate side parking rules will be in place until the order is lifted. Crews started plowing in the city around 10 o'clock this morning. That process is expected to take 12 to 16 hours. Plows will loop through Madison tonight with the focus on areas that were blocked by parked cars earlier in the day. Most of southern Wisconsin got battered with snow over the past day, especially near the Illinois state line. For more, let's get a look at your first warned weather with meteorologist Dana Fulton out on the patio.
Right now, it's not snowing on the patio. That's a nice change of pace compared to where we were at 24 hours ago. Our snow accumulations really picking up for us as we look at this time lapse of the day in Platteville. We did start off with some steady snowfall that tapered to flurries in the afternoon, and now our skies are steadily becoming partly cloudy. Those accumulation totals highest right along the Wisconsin-Illinois border in Beloit, over 7.25. Out here on the patio, just about 6.5 inches, and in Madison, officially almost 4.5 inches of snowfall. That measurement taken from the airport. Now, our radar right now, nice and quiet. Again, skies will become partly cloudy overnight. That's going to lead to some colder temperatures for our overnight lows, but seasonable weather for the next few days before our next snow system starts to build into the area. But we'll take a closer look at your full 10-day in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Dana. A major development is possibly coming soon to the heart of downtown Madison. The new student housing project could transform a portion of State Street. But Adam Duxter joins us now to explain why some are worried history could be lost in this process. Adam?
Well, the group Core Spaces is already responsible for student high-rise apartments like the Hub and the James in downtown Madison. But now they're moving forward with what could possibly be their most ambitious project yet. As you trace back the decades through the city of Madison's history, much of it comes back to one place.
That block has been historic since the 1850s, the corner of State and Gorham. This is a historic block that is at the heart of the city. It's the most important block in the city of Madison.
And over the years, Stu Levitan has watched the busy corner change. The former chair of Madison's Landmarks Commission, eager to share the history, like how a room of one's own bookstore was once a music venue called The Factory. A place cultivating not just local acts, but welcoming in stars who would become internationally known.
At least 5 members of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame played at the Factory. Jimi Hendrix played there in 1968. Steve Miller.
But as the businesses have changed, the block itself and the buildings that call it home largely haven't. That is, until now, possibly.
I certainly immediately thought that it was a very ambitious plan, considering the scale of it.
Alderman Mike Verveer says it was this past September when he first met with the Chicago-based Core Spaces team, who planned to buy the block and level the area where 10 businesses are now to build a $100 million 8 to 10 story student apartment complex. meaning not just the bookstore, but restaurants. And bars like Chasers and Red Rock now have months left to find a new home. Levitan says he's hopeful the developers will work with the city's Landmarks Commission to see if and how the history of this block can be preserved.
That whole block has history just oozing out of all of its pores, and it's very important for the development, if this goes forward, to be sensitive to those historic elements.
If a plan for development goes through, construction crews could break ground by late this year. And while the block is no stranger to change, Levitan says he's still not sure about a change quite this big.
If you don't know where you've been, you won't know where you're going, and we need to know what the history of downtown Madison has been so that we can understand and honor our forebears.
And Alder Verveer says one thing this project could hinge on is its incorporation of affordable housing, which he says could be a major benefit to downtown Madison. Now, the developers will have an open and public meeting on Wednesday, February 10th with the city's Urban Design Commission.
Thank you so much, Adam. Turning to our coronavirus headlines, more than 100,000 Wisconsinites have officially received both doses of the COVID-19 vaccine and are considered fully vaccinated. DHS data shows 16,000 vaccines were administered around the state. Meanwhile, about 1,000 new cases have been reported over the past day. 3 more people have died while 19,000 cases remain active. This weekend marks 1 year since the coronavirus first arrived in Wisconsin, and tonight our coverage of its first anniversary continues. Yesterday, city and county leaders reflected on how far the community has come since the state's first reported case. And tonight we're looking forward. Gabriella Becerra shares what the road to recovery looks like in Madison and Dane County.
There's not a guidebook on how to survive a global pandemic, but a career in public health comes kind of close.
How does that training relate to what you actually went through?
Oh my goodness. You learn a lot about it, and you learn a lot in a little bit.
No amount of education can prepare someone for the number of deaths caused by the coronavirus. 5,896 people in Wisconsin alone. But there is hope on the horizon as the pandemic nears familiar territory.
We can utilize the skills that we practice on a yearly basis, on a monthly basis, and then see what that impact could look like at such a larger scale.
The state has administered more than 500,000 vaccines into the arms of the healthcare workers, nursing home residents, and first responders who want it. UW Health Dr. Nasia Safdar says that's a good start, but there's still concern.
I think the effects of this pandemic will be with us for many decades.
The pandemic may have caused more illness than a vaccine can fix.
Especially growing children, people that will have mental health and other issues as a consequence of having dealt with it. And all the other, illnesses that didn't stop while the pandemic was raging.
Shutting down non-essential businesses in the beginning saved lives. It also turned some upside down.
I remember driving to work and coming down Atwood Avenue and driving past restaurants and businesses that I frequent, and everything was closed.
Since then, Dane County Executive Joe Parisi has dedicated more than $15 million of county funds to saving small businesses, $10 million to eviction prevention, and $5 million to feeding people. And still, it's only a fraction of the need.
It's been a multi-level trauma that's been inflicted upon our community. And there was no waiting a year or, later till things got better to address it. It needed addressing immediately.
Madison Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway agrees the road to recovery won't be easy, and it might be longer than the actual pandemic itself.
It's going to take our economy years to recover from this. So we really do have to be very proactive about thinking about the recovery and making sure that it benefits the people who have been hurt the most.
But Rhodes Conway and the other leaders who guided us to this point are confident this time next year will shine a little brighter.
I hope that it's a story of recovery, right? I hope that it's a story of, coming on the upslope out of a really hard time.
In Madison, Gabriella Becerra, News 3 Now.
While we recognize a year of COVID in our lives, Mayor Rhodes Conway recommends people look back and acknowledge how hard the past year has been, while also taking a moment to grieve and mourn before taking a deep breath and moving forward. A group of Republican senators is putting forward a counter-proposal on President Biden's COVID-19 relief plan. The group includes Maine's Susan Collins and Utah's Mitt Romney. In a letter, they ask President Biden for a meeting and a chance to work together on a new package. CNN reports the GOP package is worth only about $500 billion. That's a quarter of the $1.9 billion proposal. $1.9 trillion that Biden put forward last weekend. It's a new era for the Madison Police Department. Tomorrow, Dr. Sean Barnes will be sworn in as the city's next police chief. Dr. Barnes will take over for interim chief Vic Wall, who had been leading the department since September of 2019. Barnes started his career as a patrol officer in North Carolina in 2000, eventually moving up the ranks to captain. Most recently, he served as deputy police chief in Salisbury, North Carolina, before accepting a position as director of training for the Office of Police Accountability in Chicago last year. Dr. Barnes will be sworn in during a virtual ceremony at 10 a.m. In-person absentee voting in Madison for the spring primary election starts on Tuesday. You can find your nearest polling location on the city's website. If you requested an absentee ballot, the city clerk says those started to arrive this weekend. Ballot drop boxes around the city are also now open. They're the same ones that were used last year ahead of the November elections. If you still want to request an absentee ballot, you can visit myvote.wi.gov. Coming up on News 3 Now at 10, Dana has your first one forecast. Plus, a Prairie du Chien woman is sharing her story after almost losing her life, trying her best to save her best friend. Plus, tomorrow marks the start of Black History Month. How the past year has created a lot of new history to be celebrated. Stay with us.
Have a nice day.
Going to. And you've dealt with that, right?
In the truck game, greatness is defined by a relentless commitment to the customer, forged over decades, built by a team resolute in helping you achieve your greatness. Experience this award-winning lineup today. Ford F-Series, America's best-selling truck for 44 years straight and counting.
Hurry to get $7,250 in total savings on a Built Ford Tough F-150 XLT at your local Ford dealer.
Imagine facing Wisconsin's bitter cold winter without a warm home, or the blistering heat of summer without power, then having to make the tough choice between eating or meeting other basic survival needs. Unfortunately, over 200,000 of our neighbors in need will face this difficult decision with no place else to turn, including those who are now unemployed due to the COVID-19 crisis. Keep a neighbor in crisis safely in their home during these difficult times by supporting and donating to the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund today.
Culver's is a family restaurant. To me, that means being the place that puts a smile on everyone's face. We're famous for our cooked-to-order butter burgers and frozen custard made daily inside our restaurants. But we've always believed more menu options mean more ways to brighten your day. We source the finest chicken to bring you our tenders and chicken sandwiches. And our cheese curds. They're a Wisconsin tradition we're proud to share with you. So take the next meal shift off and let us take care of you. Welcome to Delicious.
When we hear a big storm's headed our way, some of us fall back into bed, some into fresh powder. Spending your day indoors or out, it's all about knowing what to expect. Watch News 3 Now for an accurate first warn forecast so you can plan your perfect day.
Like I said, this is a dipstick.
Dipstick.
Hey folks, we're kicking off a new segment. What makes living in the 608 so great? Monday morning, the story about one man giving us a new perspective on the Madison area. We hope you'll join us from 4:30 to 7 for News 3 Now this morning.
You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
A 72-year-old Prairie du Chien woman is doing remarkably well given what could have been the outcome. Jennifer Clements, her dog Dexter, and a man were walking near the Mississippi River in Prairie du Chien on January 15th when Dexter ran onto a dock and jumped off into the ice to chase a bird. Clements says Dexter broke through the ice, so she jumped in after him.
We're both in the water in the same hole, both hanging on to the ice. And my sweetheart didn't have his phone with him, so he couldn't call 911. And he didn't know what to do, so he was looking around for a passerby. And after quite a few minutes, a passerby came and he asked him to call 911.
Clements says police told her that she went under 3 times, and they were unsure if they were going to be able to save her, but luckily, she and Dexter have no permanent injuries. That's a reminder to always be careful out on that ice. It always scares me when my dog is near the ice. They're just going to jump in.
They might. There are a lot of reminders out there to be safe out there when we have winter weather. There are a lot of ways to enjoy the snowfall, like cruising along while someone else pulls you on a sled. My friend's son had a really great time enjoying the snow today. Maybe when he's a little older and he has to actually clear it up, it won't be quite as much fun. I'm just really jealous I didn't have quite as warm of a hat when I was out with the snowplow earlier. Those snow totals across the state, we really did see the highest numbers in the southeast corner. Overall, though, those numbers really taper off as you head northwest towards La Crosse, barely picking up 2 inches of accumulation. Our radar is going to stay quiet overnight and for the next several days. We're going to have a little bit of sunshine building back in. Seasonally cold for the next few days. Temperatures will be close to average for afternoon highs and for overnight lows. Sunshine will be in the forecast for the start of the week. We'll actually hold on to it for several days. That's really going to help get things cleaned up before our next chance for snow builds in. As we look ahead to late Wednesday and Thursday, we'll have scattered snow showers throughout the day on Thursday into Friday morning. Mostly cloudy right now, but these skies are going to become partly cloudy as we head into Monday morning. Temperatures dropping to the teens overnight, and for Monday afternoon, high temperatures will be in the upper 20s, which is pretty close to where we should be for early February. Overnight into Tuesday, a little bit of cloud coverage building in again. Temperatures back into the teens and afternoon highs back close to 30 degrees with the sunshine coming back through. That pattern kind of continues into Wednesday, but as we fast forward just a little bit into Thursday morning, this moisture is going to creep in, and it might be a little bit of mixed precipitation early in the day. A lot of that rain is going to stay south of the Illinois state line, but as we look ahead to that morning commute, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a little bit of freezing drizzle mixing in with some light snow early on. That quickly transitions over to light snow throughout the day, going to continue through the evening and overnight, and then into Friday morning, the snow will taper to flurries and then come to an end. By Friday afternoon, we'll be back to some sunshine for us, and that's where we're going to stay into the weekend. After that, though, it does get a little cold outside. This next system bringing a blast of cold air, and our 8 to 14 day outlook carries us into Valentine's Day. Very likely that we're going to see temperatures below average. Not really seeing one way or the other for our precipitation trend. Not many systems building in with that cold, dry air. Partly sunny skies for tomorrow. Again, seasonally cold. It's going to feel like February outside. We're close to 28 for Monday. Tuesday, we're near 30, and we stay near 30 for the middle of the week. That cold air really comes in after our snow system. That's going to bring the chance for snow showers throughout the day on Thursday and early Friday morning. Behind it, afternoon highs will drop down to the mid to low teens. And overnight lows will be in the single digits, potentially below 0 for early Sunday and Monday morning. Those wind chills, Amanda, could be anywhere from 10 to 20 below. So chilly start to those days. Yes.
Yeah, you look at those temperatures overnight, and man, it's going to be rough next weekend. But
we'll bundle up a little bit after we get through the snow.
Yes, thank you so much, Dana. Still ahead on News 3 now at 10. A Sauk Prairie group is in the spirit of giving this weekend. Oh, they hope their hot soups will be able to help people struggling in their community.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Dear Winter, I'm coming. My squad of 15 vehicles with all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive is ready to take you on. Safety's the name of my game, so you better bundle up. Toyota.
Right now, get $1,500 customer cash on a new 2021 Highlander Hybrid. Visit Toyota.com to learn more. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
during President's Day Super Sale at Denver Mattress. Right now, save $100 on every $1,000 you spend and watch the savings add up. Or save up to $500 on select Tempur-Pedic mattress sets and get a free $300 Furniture Oak gift certificate. Save $100 on the entire Doctor's Choice lineup and check out the Summit Firm for only $189.99. Plus, 7 years no interest financing and free shipping. The President's Day Super Sale, on now at Denver Mattress.
Did you know that 178 million Americans are missing at least one tooth?
It's true. That's why at Affordable Dentures and Implants, we only focus on tooth replacement solutions.
Whether it's a single tooth, full dentures, or dental implants, we have an experienced dentist who can create a new smile just for you.
At a price that's affordable.
Because at Affordable Dentures and Implants, we want you to
go ahead and smile.
We hear much about what divides us, our differences. But today, America is coming together, as it always has. People rising to the occasion. Among them, the healthcare alumni of Herzing University, over 12,000 strong and growing. This is your opportunity to join Herzing, to make a difference together. You can start now. Find out how at herzing.edu.
Accurate news as it happens.
We need more vaccine to be allocated to our state.
Right here, where you live.
In 2022, we should hopefully have a new and improved Beltline.
Information that you can use.
Water backup is not part of the standard homeowners insurance coverage.
From the team you can trust.
This bomb was placed in a way that really could have hurt people.
For more local stories that impact your life, News 3 Now. Download the Channel 3000 First Warn Weather app today. Get more local news now with Channel 3000 Plus, our free digital streaming service that brings you area news and info 24/7 from the News 3 Now team. Channel 3000 Plus. Download it today and watch from your streaming media player or mobile device. You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Welcome back. The Super Bowl isn't for another week, but a Wisconsin group is getting in the spirit with its Super Bowl. All proceeds from today's Soup Drive-In Sauk City went toward Circles' mission of decreasing poverty in the community. Circles is a part of a nonprofit organization called 6-8. They handed out soups and homemade bowls made by Sauk Prairie High School art students. Organizers say the program works to reduce poverty, and community events like this are a big part of that effort.
So we're not trying to make it easier for people to live in poverty, but really actually have them raise themselves up out of poverty, which takes a lot more time and energy and relationship.
Today's event was a drive-through due to COVID precautions. Circles offers a 2-year process for individuals living in poverty to reach financial stability. They say the pandemic has slowed down their effort, but they continue to meet and raise money. Tomorrow marks the first day of Black History Month, and across the country, people are raising awareness of the coronavirus pandemic's impact on the Black community. But they're also celebrating the resilience of Black Americans who faced unprecedented challenges this past year. Nadia Romero looks back at the impact of COVID-19, protests, and history-making elections for Black Americans.
A global pandemic, COVID-19 killing the father and grandfather of Detroit's Keith Gambrill.
It's very frustrating. It's heartbreaking. It's bitter. It's America.
The virus disproportionately impacting the Black community, highlighting long-standing inequities in health care. The CDC reports Black Americans dying at 3 times the rate of white Americans. In response, Thermo Fisher Scientific, a science equipment company, pledged $15 million for tests and equipment to historically Black colleges and universities in August.
This has gotten, Black and brown researchers excited. This is why we do what we do. The community that's given me so much growing up, it's really nice to be able to see more testing efforts being brought to D.C.
Then came the COVID-19 vaccines, some Black people hesitant to get the shot.
We know that lack of trust is a major cause for reluctance, especially in communities of color. And that lack of trust is not without good reason, as the Tuskegee studies occurred within many of our own lifetimes.
Howard University encouraging confidence in the vaccine.
I'm getting vaccinated to be an example to my community.
While battling a new pandemic, an old foe reared its ugly head again: racism. Several states have now declared racism a public health emergency, acknowledging the painful past for Black Americans that's still felt in present day.
When I say George, you say Floyd. George! Floyd! George! Floyd!
The deaths of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and other Black Americans at the hands of police motivated a movement.
No justice, no peace!
People spilling into the streets, demanding an end to police brutality and racial inequality.
You must stand, you must fight, but not with violence.
Channeling the civil rights movement of the 1960s. With the heartbreaking loss of civil rights icon Congressman John Lewis, a renewed push for legislative change. The Congressional Black Caucus celebrating as the House passed a police reform bill named after George Floyd and urging more action.
Protests spread around the world, with people in other countries calling out human rights abuses in the United States.
Big companies like Google and Yelp stepped up. Perfect timing for Black business owners, shutting down in numbers twice as large as others during the pandemic, according to a report from the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. But for Atlanta's slutty vegan restaurant, before and during the pandemic, growing pandemonium for vegan burgers.
It takes a village. You know, I couldn't be who I am by myself.
The business owner opened 2 more shops and a food truck. Just one glimmer of success in an unprecedented year. A year that included pain and protest after protest. Marching all the way to the ballot box for change.
The Black community came together and united to really put forth an effort to get everybody out to vote.
In Mississippi, a nearly 40-year fight finally won to replace the Confederate-themed state flag.
Black folk in this state are very proud. Young black folk don't have this flag to look to the rest of their lives.
In Georgia, electing its first Black U.S. senator. And nationally, a glass ceiling breaking.
I, Kamala Davy Harris, solemnly swear.
The first woman and person of color as vice president. Another historic moment to add to the long list of accomplishments celebrated during Black History Month. In Washington, I'm Nadia Romero.
The Madison Public Library is kicking off a month of virtual Black History Month celebrations next weekend. You can find a list of those on the library website. A final check of your First Warn forecast when we return.
Furnish your home in good taste with Pletz Furniture. Shop for new ideas from a large selection of quality name brands in stock and ready for delivery, including Lazy Boy, Sealy, and Amish-made furniture. Pletz Furniture in downtown Baraboo. Quality furniture at lowest prices.
In the truck game, greatness is defined by a relentless commitment to the customer, forged over decades, built by a team resolute in helping you achieve your greatness. Experience this award-winning lineup today. Ford F-Series, America's best-selling truck for 44 years straight and counting.
Hurry to get $7,250 in total savings on a Built Ford Tough F-150 XLT at your local Ford dealer.
Lower than low prices? Then get more ways to save at Pick and Save, where you can find personalized coupons, weekly deals, and rewards like fuel points. All for prices that are lower than low. On food that's fresher than fresh. Pick and Save. Fresh for everyone.
You get more out of your laundry when you get it at the Brothers Maine. We're the team that gives you more laundry brands, savings, and service every time. What more can the More store do for you? How about free delivery on your washer-dryer pair and a risk-free 30-day price and satisfaction guarantee? Because we're not happy until you're happy. From laundry to TVs, appliances to mattresses, Maine means more because you deserve more, right? See for yourself at the Brothers Maine, your local store for more since 1938.
I said, oh, I'm blinded by the light.
Still hard to find a spot, just easier to park. Still the big move, just more moving. Still singing, just more in tune. Still the gang's all here, just less are we there yet. The Chevy family of SUVs, making life's journey just better.
Get over $3,700 cash allowance on most 2021 Equinox models. Plus, current Chevy owners with an eligible GM credit card get an additional $1,750 total allowance. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
Furnish your home in good taste with Pletz Furniture. Shop for new ideas from a large selection of quality name brands in stock and ready for delivery, including Lazy Boy, Sealy, and Amish-made furniture. Pletz Furniture in downtown Baraboo. Quality furniture at lowest prices.
News 3 Now, your vaccine information headquarters. You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Punxsutawney Phil will still make an appearance on Tuesday, but he won't be greeted by large crowds. Groundhog Day celebrations in Pennsylvania will go virtual this year. The Punxsutawney Groundhog Club says it will host virtual events in place of in-person gatherings. No word on if the famous groundhog will or will not see his shadow. Of course, if he doesn't, then spring is supposed to arrive early, but it doesn't really feel like spring is arriving anytime soon, Dana.
No, not at all. I know a lot of meteorologists have problems with Punxsutawney Phil. I think he's adorable.
I mean, it's just cute.
It's
a fun name, and
yeah,
exactly.
Fun to say. And this is again on Tuesday, so we'll see. We'll see what his forecast is going to be. Temperatures for the next few days pretty close to average for early February. We are going to have sunshine to start off the week with light snow chances developing late Wednesday into Thursday. Through much of the day on Thursday, we'll just have some light snow coming down. That comes to an end early Friday, tapering to flurries, and behind that system, it gets a little colder outside. Overnight lows will be dropping down to the single digits starting Saturday, and then down below zero for Sunday and for Monday, with wind chills likely in the 10 to 20 below zero range. So very chilly start as we look ahead to next weekend and the following week.
All right, thanks so much, Dana, and thanks for joining us. Have a great night.